Bepun crap is the Caddy Museo, Yamasa, see it in any munisio, and no by a buswa, is you, Gana Yawaso, ye, Goshetiwa, the Buddha Yamina was a fell, or my Yambo Bono, ye, Nabayan Shira Mayan, Nagana Baya Kabasha, a Tiwa till eternity. Obi Araman of a Shebi, Viva Yesu, Viva Densu, na every thing in a free hat, Nanana. It's what in eternity. Obi Araman of a Shebi, Viva Yesu, na Viva Densu, na every thing in a free hat, Nanana. Atiwa, till eternity. Atiwa, till eternity.
Of the first national conference of the Presbyterian University College Ghana. We would begin with an opening prayer by Mr. Stellan Omari, Head of Department, Environment and Natural Resource Management. Please let's welcome him.
Most gracious and everlasting Father, we thank you for this moment, for this evening. Father, we commit this program into your hands, including everybody who has a presentation to make and anybody who also has who wants to participate in the program. And you, Lord, will guide us and make everything possible and successful. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Before we take our welcome address, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Professor Emmanuel Danquah of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The oldies would call it Kwame Nkrumah Legon. Please let's clap for Professor. We also have in our midst Mr. Stephen Omari, HOD, Faculty of Development Studies, Department of Environment and Natural Resource Management. We have the Director of Quality and Assurance Services, Dr. Richard Amfo Otu in our midst. And then we have the landlord himself, supported by our landlady, Dr. Edward Deborah WIAFE, and his Mrs. Florence WIAFE also here. We also have in our midst. Okay, so it's time for us to take our welcome address, and it will be given by our landlord himself, Dr. Edward Deborah WIAFE, Dean, Faculty of Development Studies of the Presbyterian University College Ghana.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to Akropo. Thank you. We chose this team, which has a very big wing, so it covers a lot of issues, that is man and his environment. The conference is also a means that builds up confidence of researchers. Sometimes confidence is not taught in any school, nor is written in any book. It is meetings like this that builds up people's confidence. So if you are here, you are the right place to build your confidence. Feel free to contact each other to develop contacts. I wish that by the end of this conference, we will form a team, one team of researchers, and then come out with good research team and work together from there. So by the powers conferred on me by the president of the university college, I declare this conference open. People, dance, drink, eat. Feel free to enjoy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Edward Deborah WIAFE. Ladies and gentlemen, we would be going into our cocktail session right now. but not before introducing our media partners here, YELS TV. YELS is YELS. You can call them for all your events. I would also like to acknowledge our sponsors, Critical Ecosystem Partnership, and then the Presbyterian University College Ghana, who are sponsoring today's event. God bless you, and like Dr. said, feel free. Let's enjoy and let's have fun. Let's learn together too.
To the hearts of man, oh yeah, the river never ends. Let the forest grow, never let it go. Make the people know God's gonna show. Let the forest grow, cause it's gonna show. To make the river flow.
Good morning to everybody. You are welcome to the National Conference. We want to start by calling on Mr. Amo to give us a word of prayer so that we can start our program.
God of our ancestors, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the forgiveness of sins. As we've gathered here, Heavenly Father, we pray that, Heavenly Father, you occupy this place with your Holy Spirit. Come here and join us for us to have a very successful program. This we ask in the name of God the Father, Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Amo, the Head of Department for Rural and Community Development at the Faculty of Development STEM. At this time, when we look on our program, this is the opening ceremony and preliminary section.
Distinguished guests and participants, this is an educative program, and it is a gathering of seasoned scholars, and as such, it will not be out of place to have a seasoned scholar as chair. Our chairperson has several publications to his credit. In fact, it will not be possible for us to mention all the publications that he has made. He's a very seasoned scholar. He's a product of KNUST, Laurenstein University of Netherlands, and then UCC also. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairman for today is Dr. John Adu Kuni. Please let's welcome him with a round of applause.
To start with, I'm really honored to be the guide for this function. I'll have more to say based on what he has put in mind. Once again, let me thank you for this honor. I would also request that the MC would support me so much in carrying out all the rest of the functions. Let's make this a big success as the Lord wants us. Thank you very much.
Our guest speaker is the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Renewable Natural Resources, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and also the Head of Department of Wildlife and Range Management. He is a member of the Board of Directors of Save the Frogs, Ghana, and a technical advisor to Arocha, Ghana. He is a fellow of the University of Michigan African Presidential Scholars in Ann Arbor, Michigan. He is also a member of the IUCN World Commission on Protected Areas, IUCN SSD, African Elephant Specialist Group, IUCN World Commission on Biodiversity and Protected Areas Management, INFRO, International Council from Africa Region, Ghana, Ghana Institute of Professional Foresters. Emmanuel's recent areas of research include HDV assessment, biodiversity monitoring, and environmental impact assessment. He has over 50 papers and technical reports to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that this program is going to be very, very effective because we have very seasoned writers and then scholars as chairperson and then as guest speakers. Our guest speaker for the day is Professor Emmanuel Danquah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tufo. We are all welcome once again. And I want to say that as a committee for putting up this conference together, we are very much impressed about what we have done so far. This is the first of its kind for us to put such a program together within our university and especially within our faculty. Though we've been having faculty lectures and academic seminars, we've not expanded the scope to cover the national areas or geographical areas. A three-member committee, Michael, Madam Carol, she's not here, and myself. And our able dean also has been supporting and giving advices as and when we need the support. I must say that for this conference, we received about 30 abstracts. 30 abstracts. Now, those who submitted papers came from various institutions. We have some from UCC, some from KNUST, some from University of Energy and Natural Resources, Sunyani, and then Legon. We also have some from our own campus and our own university. So, we had about 23 researchers submitting, and as I said, 26 were accepted. So some have double papers to present. And therefore, I want to assure members that we have put everything in place for this program to go on successfully. As you can see through your program sheet, everything has been outlined and all resources have been made available and ready for successful conference. And therefore, I wish you best participation in this conference. Thank you very much.
More importantly, we'll have the guest speaker addressing us in the person of, as we've already introduced, Professor Emmanuel Danquah of the KNUST.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, the President of this UCG, the Vice President, Deans, colleagues, and invited guests. I bring you greetings from Kumasi, Osego. I am very, very happy, delighted to be the guest speaker of this occasion, National Conference, with the theme Environmental Management and Livelihood Nexus toward the attainment of Sustainable Development Goals, which we affectionately call the SDGs. The theme of the conference is very relevant. If we look at the SDGs, they all have aspects of environment and livelihoods. These two brothers, twins, are the driving force of all our problems today. The SDGs came about from 2015 September, when world leaders, United Nations, came together in the Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And the aim was to make the world a better place to live. So these 17 goals all had components of various aspects to drive the world to make it a better place. So Chairman, the universities have a key role to play in the implementation of these goals. First, because of the scientific knowledge and solutions that underpin the implementation of each university, the SDGs require a lot of new knowledge and in some cases very profound transformations And since universities are centers of excellence, their role in its implementation emphasis cannot be lessened. Adopting the SDG agenda provides a broader framework for different partners to also come together to work. So it also increases linkages, networks. So I'm very happy through this conference that is coming to reality. One important thing I'm taking back to KNUST is we are going to replicate this in KNUST. This all important thing. So I really commend the faculty and the department for taking this step. Mr. Chairman, a cohesive and well-grounded monitoring and evaluation plan will help PUCG to create and share compelling stories to draw both the necessary support for their future engagement. As I said, I'm ending. I would like to congratulate each and every one of you present here. We know for a fact that your presence here is testimony. Long live the Faculty of Development Studies and Education. Mr. Chairman, long live the Presbyterian University College of Ghana. And long live Ghana too. Thank you for your attention.
I want to introduce the rep from UNDP. We've met for almost 2 years, working together. He has worked with Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a year or two before joining the UNDP. A young man with great ambitions and great delivery as well. He has represented the institution on various platforms, including the recent International Youth Forum in Russia, where he delivered a very brilliant speech. And I know that today too, he's going to talk about the theme very well and address us very well. So he's no other person than Mr. Joel Emmanuel Danquah. That's all.
So, Dr. Adu Kuni, the chairman for today, and Dr. WIAFE, the dean for the faculty, and then the invited speaker, Professor Emmanuel Danquah, and invited guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be with you here this morning for the opening of this national conference being organized by the Faculty of Development Studies. And I congratulate the leadership of the college and members of faculty for creating such a platform for all key stakeholders to discuss such an important topic.
The SDGs which were introduced in 2015 were built around 5 key pillars, which we call the 5 Ps. They are people, planet, prosperity, peace, partnership. And now we know that the government of Ghana has added another P, which is political will, which demonstrates the government's commitment to helping Ghana to realize the targets in the SDGs. The ideals of the SDGs aims at achieving poverty eradication that leaves no one behind, prosperity that is shared in a people-centered economy, a planet that is protected, and institutions that are participatory, transparent, and accountable. At the heart of these is a cross-cutting issue of climate change and sustainable environmental management, creating the need, therefore, to reduce global warming and pollution and its effect on all major sectors of our society. In a recent study conducted by EPA and UNDP, it is estimated that the cost of environmental degradation in Ghana is about 5 to 10% of our annual GDP. Globally, it is also estimated that environmental pollution costs about 6.2% of the annual global GDP. On the health front, WHO estimates that a global annual loss of about 1.4 million children under 5 years are lost due to environmental mismanagement and pollution. These statistics raises the need to have a concerted discussion on the way forward in promoting sustainable environmental management. Livelihoods and environment are strongly linked. This is because, on one hand, environmental resources are critical to the survival of people and nations, both for subsistence and for economic mainstay, as people derive their livelihoods from land, water, and other livelihood-sustaining resources. In Ghana, for example, majority of the population derive their livelihoods from the various forms of activities that are directly or indirectly dependent on the environment. On another hand of this relationship, the linkage is derived from the negative impact economic activities have on the environment and its resources. In addressing the negative impacts in both scenarios, Mr. Chairman, a green economy that reduces environmental risk, scarcity and degradation whilst creating economic opportunities for people and communities provides us the best alternative route in efficiently managing this relationship. This provides us an opportunity for socio-economic development that is low carbon, resource efficient, and socially inclusive.
As you continue the dialogue on this topic, and we hope that practical and sustainable recommendations can be given to address this issue, looking at the relationship between environmental management and the livelihoods of people. Thank you so much for being here, and I thank you for your attention.
So quickly we will introduce ourselves so that you know the person. We don't normally do that at conferences because we have a large number. But quickly, we can do it because we are not many. So you tell us your name.
I'm Rosina, NOSD, Human Resource Director for 3 years. I'm standing in for my Municipal Director. Thank you. I'm sure this conference is very fruitful and beneficial, especially to education. We have a duty to perform, and that duty is to be well versed in certain things and then implement it in our various schools and communities, so that after educating the community, things will go on well. So I thank PUC for the wonderful work we are doing. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Albert Alote. I'm with PUC, and officially I'm with Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Institute for Scientific and Technological Information. You have to say something else.
What is what you do?
Thank you very much.
From PUC. My research interest is the role ICT plays in educational learning development. The case of Presbyterian College of Education, Ekropon, Ekropon.
Morning. My name is Ujama Kumade of Ecological Restoration, an NGO, an environmental NGO, and our main focus is on the sound management of chemicals towards sustainable development. So we're in link with everybody who is here, how to make the environment safe, less chemicals being used, and I'm presenting on the menace of plastics and the link to sustainable development. Thank you.
My name is Theophilus Amanokola. I am a postgraduate student of the University of Ghana, Institute of Environment and Sanitation Studies. I work with a seawater desalination plant at Nungwa. My research interest is in waste water treatment, water resource management, water reuse, recycling, and then reduction of wastage.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. My name is Samuel Afuto from KNUST, the teaching assistant, the Department of Wildlife and Range Management. And my research areas are private. So I'm interested in concerning primates from Ghana, and not only Ghana, but the world at large. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adu Kuni. I am a lecturer here at the Faculty of Development.
Good morning. My name is Presbyterian from PUC, MA student.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm Fred Ajayepwa from the University of Energy and Natural Resources, an MPhil student, and my research area is human-monkey conflict at WIAFE. Thank you very much.
My name is Pascal Agro. I am a graduate of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, unofficially. I'm there voluntarily helping with the student work there. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Elikamnuchako from the Department of Wildlife and Range Management, KNUST, and alumni of PUC. Thank you.
I'm Florence Kunchi, a former student of PUC.
I'm Patron Komisu, a student student of PUC.
Good morning, I'm Chris Magdabi, MA student from PUC.
I am Okai Indonesia Okai, and I'm a national service personnel with PUCG. Good morning.
Paul, a student of PUCG, final year student of MED, Master's Program. Thank you.
Rosemary Bondi, final year student, Masters of Education, PUCG.
Reverend Eric Coneference, course rep for the final year students. I'm a teacher as well at the Reformers Senior High in South Medium. Thank you.
Honorable guest speaker, that we organize ourselves well, and this is a beginning. As we walk out of this place, get to know new people in the organization. If you have old people here, let's not find you working with them, at least for today. Build new niches, gather ideas, and then let us identify the gaps that need to be worked on. When we have done all these assignments today, then we have good footing to make our conference a big success. On behalf of our president, our university president, Reverend Professor Emmanuel Danquah, I wish to thank everybody who is here, at least for this session. And he's really itching that he wished he could even come over before the opening ceremony would end. So I'll not put a full stop at the end of my remark, hoping that his dream becomes a possibility. Then he will come and put the full stop there. Let me not talk too much. Like in education, remembering a teacher who was marking, saw that his students had done very well. 78, he gives very good. 84, excellent. 86, excellent. Then he finds somebody who scored 98. The teacher wrote excellent. In fact, very good.
Your remarks was excellent, and in fact, very good. Thank you very much, Dr. John Adu Kuni. We are taking our cocoa break, but Dr. Ampo too has something to tell us, because after here we are going to the various rooms or halls to have our presentations.
Thank you. We have the media men around. They will interact with the speakers and the chairperson as well as the dean after this session or during the cocoa break. There are certain categories of our thematic areas. We had some coming from wildlife, environment and energy, so they were put together. We also have some from environment, waste and health, which was also put together, which were put together. So we have 3 sessions. Session C, which is on agriculture, will be here. So they will have their presentations here. The chairpersons are there. Dr. Adu Kuni is here. And then we have Mrs. Mary Adu Kuni, who will handle the B. Track B is in the upper or our main administration conference room. This is open session. So, but bear in mind the advice from Prof. Give advices or suggestions that will improve the researchers' work, not to pull down. Thank you very much.
So we can break now. It's for 20 minutes. So right after 20 minutes, we'll prompt you. And from there, we'll go to our various
The most important thing to me as a guest speaker is the initiative that PUCG has taken. Most of the tertiary institutions, we are in a way practicing these SDGs on ad hoc basis. Everybody does what he wants. We are actually doing it on an individual basis. But what PUCG has done now is to bring all stakeholders on board and streamline how we are going to do it. So I think from the other institutions should also organize something like this, bring all the stakeholders together so that we harmonize how things can be done. And the team too, concentrating on environment and livelihood. You know, these are two evil things that compete against each other. Livelihoods will affect the environment. When the environment is supposed to be able to support the livelihoods, but most of the time, livelihoods are not sustainable. So it goes rather to degrade the environment. From this workshop, we should be the carriers of this information and then spread it out to the other places that we respectively are. With the aspect of illegal mining and logging going on, I think the most important, we are not doing our environment well at all. There are policies regulating all this, but as a country, one of our problems is how to enforce. The underlying factor is people that should know are now involved in the thing. People that should know that this is bad, they are now involved in the thing. So it's difficult to do. But I think with the government taking the initiative, gradually we'll get there. We should enforce, make sure that yeah, this is a very dicey situation. I think in the long term, we stand at a disadvantage. There is nothing comparable to using the natural resource. You can gain some benefits now, but in the long term, you know, this Tiwa is an important watershed. The government is bringing ways on how to mine it sustainably without affecting this. I've not seen the mining plan and all these things yet. I have some doubts anyway whether it can be done, but no, the government is employing technical guys that will ensure that the mining has integrity. It does not affect the waterways. Let's see how it happens. But for me, I know that for natural resources, it is not replaceable.
So, Prof, if you have your way, would you have advice?
Yes.
Go ahead and we stop it.
Definitely, we have to stop it. For me, personally. For me, I am against it.
Your name is
For us as UNDP, we believe that this is a very important topic that is being discussed, especially in the context of the SDGs, where we are looking at sustainability of everything that we do. When people are working, we expect that it will have positive impact on their lives and then also on society and environment. And then we also expect that the environment will also have positive impact on the livelihoods of people. So for us, we see a very great connection between livelihoods and environment, and then also environment and livelihoods. Because, for example, if people are gaining income from some work they are doing, however, it is having negative impact on the environment, then the sustainability is questioned. In the same way, if the environment is also having negative impact on the livelihoods of people, then this creates an issue for us to discuss. Especially when you look at climate change now, climate change is having impacts on the livelihoods of people, especially people in agriculture. Now you are not getting the rains when you want them, and when you don't need the rains, you are having more rain than you want. So we believe that this topic is very timely, and we really congratulate the Presbyterian University for organizing this meeting for all of us to come and learn, and then also have an understanding of the best way forward to make sure that our environment is safe and the livelihoods of people are safe, and that both can be managed in a way that will not have negative impact on each other. I believe that as a country and globally, the SDGs came in from 2015, and every country has marked out plans to help them achieve the targets. We recently had the global report on the SDGs that was launched, and it shows that significant steps have been taken by various governments across the world, and we still hope that some more effort will be put in, because we are just 3 years in the implementation of the SDGs. So there's still a lot to do across the world for us to achieve the targets of the SDGs.
Other users of the same resource, that is what we are trying to say.
So if you had the power to opt out of these agreements, are you going to, maybe you are the head of the nation, to abrogate this contract between the government and some country?
Again, I would say that we would have discussed it and do a lot of research to tabulate the pros and cons, and also to put in measures that will reverse the adverse conditions. Most often than not, when we do environmental impact assessments and the project starts, we don't go forward to monitor how the measures that we put in place, and that is what is lacking. Every project is good to color the life of the people, but it must be done with the environment in mind, so that even if we go ahead with the contract, it should go with other responsibilities and other enforcement agencies who are genuine and true. Why do we have forests and always report on forest degradation? Meanwhile, we have an agency that protects it. That means the implementation of the law is quite weak, and that is what we need.
The academy happens to be a stakeholder in managing our natural resources. Were you consulted in the case of Sino Hydro?
No.
God's gonna show that the forest grow, cause it's gonna show. A tree will make the river flow. Ooh, yeah. A tree will make the river flow. Ooh, yeah. A tree will make the river flow. Till eternity. Till eternity. Basics are the emotion. Yamasa see and munisio. And no my name was why it's you. God's gonna show that the forest grow, cause it's gonna show. A tree will make the river flow. Ooh, yeah. Ati will make the river flow. Ooh, yeah. Ati will make the river flow. Atiwa, 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 Atiwa till eternity. Atiwa, 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 Atiwa till eternity. Basically, Musio, Yamasa, see, and Musio, and on my image was why it's you, it's you, it's you. Basically, Musio, Yamasa, see, and any Musio, and on my image was why it's you, it's you, it's you. Gana Yawazo, ye, Koshetiwa. The Buddha Yamina was a fell on my ambo bono ye, Nabayan Shira Mayan, Nagana Baya Kabasha, Etiwa till eternity. Obi Araman of a Shebi, Viva Yesu, Viva Densu, that everything in a free hat, Nanana. Etiwa till eternity. Obi Araman of a Shebi, Viva Yesu, Viva Densu, that everything in a free hat, Nanana. Atiwa, 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 Atiwa till eternity. Atiwa, 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 Atiwa till eternity. Living waters, Atiwa, 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 Atiwa till eternity. Living waters, living waters, let the rivers flow. We owe the forest an apology, 'cause it was meant for eternity.